I was very surprised to see that after the end of UFC 202, no one died. Conor McGregor was still alive, Nate Diaz still alive, and the reason I'm so surprised is because at the pre-match or pre-fight weigh-in, there were death threats being thrown between each of the parties, and so Conor McGregor said, "You should have killed me when you had the chance, because now I'm gonna kill you and your whole team. You should have killed me when you had the chance, motherfucker." And so that just is an illustration for me how inflammatory and hyped up all these fights are. So, and I also think that if they're not keeping their word, if they're not actually saying what they're going to do in terms of killing each other, then what else are they not telling the truth about? These guys are changing weight divisions at will, seemingly at will, in very short periods of times. And they claim not to be using anabolic and performance-enhancing drugs, but I find that very hard to believe, given that they change weight categories, having to put on considerable volumes of weight in very short periods of time. So it's really unlikely that they're not using any performance-enhancing drugs or anabolic steroids or anabolic substances which allow them to gain weight in very quick or short periods of time. It's really unlikely that they're not doing that. And also, the guaranteed payout for each of the fighters, Nate Diaz and Conor McGregor, was more than what was exactly $1 million each guaranteed. And there were further pay-per-view revenue opportunities available for both of the parties as well. So when there's so much money on the table, there's a lot of pressure to perform. So why, given that they earn so much money, why would they not be doing everything in their power to perform at their best? And why would they not be considering a little bit of performance-enhancing substances which would allow them to perform that much better, get the edge, and potentially increase their guaranteed revenues for future fights? It just doesn't make sense to me that they wouldn't do that. And these guys are training really hard. They're under a lot of pressure. They want to be extending their careers. They want to avoid injuries, and by using performance-enhancing substances, they can already do that. That's a very realistic outcome of the use of anabolic steroids and other performance-enhancing substances, artificial or exogenous testosterone for one. So it doesn't make sense that they wouldn't do that. So I think one should really consider what else they are not keeping their word about. And I'd like to also draw your attention to the fact that that is not a UFC specific consideration. You should be considering the same things in all sports. Caster Semenya, she is naturally, genetically, or is intersex, so she has genitalia of both male and female in her body. She's a hermaphrodite. So her competitors claimed that she is a hyperandrogenous female. So she has considerably more natural testosterone in her than other females do, and that gives her a performance edge, and that may be what has helped her to win the gold medal in the 800-meter final in the Rio Olympic Games this year. So considering that she naturally or genetically happens to benefit from increased testosterone in her body, if her competitors want to ever compete with her, they would have to use artificial testosterone or other performance-enhancing drugs to match her performance level. Would they do that? I think, given my rhetoric earlier relating to UFC 202, I think you can judge what I would say, and hopefully you can make an informed decision and see through the propaganda and the marketing, because where there's a lot of money, where there's a lot of pressure, why would people not take any step or every step they could to maximize their chances, improve their chances of being at their very best, performing their best, and making more money?
Yo, I ain't surprised, motherfuckers.